Yo, man, it's almost 4:30. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
This is the Social Norm.
1, 2. You want top dollar and pop bottles and drop knowledge. Hit the throttle on nice autos without college. Do yourself a solid, put them boys on your screen. Wait, who do you mean? I mean Canteen and Beans. When the social norm is on, you better pay attention. They teach you lessons, make you laugh when you're stressing. Must I mention that the style is infectious? I gotta have it, I gotta have it. The rapid fire gabbing on my tablet. My boys established a gamut of information from relations to dating to when your leader gets impatient. They're lacing the nation every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4:30. The Social Norm Podcast, you heard me?
It's the Social Norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
It's the Social Norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
It's the Social.
Yep. Yo. You already know what it is, man. Hey, we back it again with another one. I'm your boy Canteen. This is my man Beans.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, it's a social norm. We talk to you fellas, make you open your mind a little bit so y'all can be the best y'all can be. Now, today we got another banger for y'all. Today's
It's Monday.
it's Monday. I always fuck up the days, y'all.
Don't
You
know what day.
Because I'm on my grind, bro. I'm on my grind. Today's episode is how to level up in your life. Now, today, you know, I got to go ahead before we even get to the episode. I got to give you a disclaimer. This is me and Beans' personal opinion. This is not factual. This is not the end all be all. This is not the who said and why. It's not your mama told you and I told you different. It's just how we see things. We got our opinion. You got yours. So we're going to respect them both. Now, the reason I wanted to go ahead and do this episode was because I'm about to really level up, bro. Like right now, I don't know if y'all really understand, but like we don't wasted enough time in this world, on this earth, you know, to be where you are. If you ain't happy with where you are in life, right now is the time to really level up.
Amen.
The stock market is crashing. Everybody, we about to be into a recession. And I'm telling y'all right now, you is the best time for you to go ahead and say, you know what? I'm putting everybody on the back burner and I'm focusing on me. Now, shout out to everybody who up in the building, man.
I'm trying to look because it's been a while since.
Hey, before we even go any further, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell because we do every episode from Monday and Friday at 4:30 Eastern time. And so y'all don't miss any of our videos. And if you want to go ahead and support the channel, you know what the Cash App is, man, right there. Also, if you want to go ahead and call the channel to talk to us, man, this is the number right here. Go and call it 716-218-9317 if you want to talk to us and ask any questions you want to talk to us about. Now,
what
Go
you
ahead.
told me about this, but what brought about?
because I look,
Which-
okay, what brought about the change?
Yes.
Like I look at my life and I'm like, damn, you know, I'm 32. I'm about to be 33 in September. And I literally was like, you know what? I'm
that.
not happy where I'm at right now. I feel like you ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
Yes.
Okay, there was a character on Dragon Ball Z, a villain called Cell, and Cell had certain levels he had to get to his pure form, and he had to consume people. And he had to do these acts to finally get to the next level. Well, I'm at a point now where I have to go ahead. I'm tired of being at this level, so I told myself I'm gonna give myself 6 months, and I'm cutting off women. I'm cutting off all distractions, and I'm about to go into Rocky mode.
You just about to train and
Train,
get it
focus on my body, focus on my spirituality, focus on financial situation. Because like right now, I'm at a point where it's like I'm trying to find my next zero. So if you're
Yes.
at $1,000,
yes.
you need to go ahead and try to find to where you can get to $10,000. If you're at 10,000, you need to find to get to 100,000. If you're at 100,000, you need to get to 1,000,000. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. And that's what I'm on right now. I'm literally, and I've been thinking about doing this for like the last 2 months.
Now, how you feeling right now is basically how I felt back in, I want to say 2020, whenever I started
Everybody was saying, "Oh, you know, I'm about to get in the grind. And I'm about to hustle in 2020. Everybody
Yeah.
down. So I got this little stimulus check. I'm about to get myself.
Yeah.
Man, half of us ain't do shit.
Yeah. No, I get it. I
You-
totally
We
get it.
just talked about the shit.
I get it. But I totally understand where you're coming from. And my changes were obviously different from yours. I'm a little older than you.
Yeah.
So mine was basically how I felt, my appearance, my diet, my money situation.
It just wasn't where it needed to be.
Yes, it wasn't where I wanted it to be in life. And I was not happy.
Now,
Like at all.
this is the thing. Once you make that decision that you're gonna say, you know what, I'm giving myself a time limit to start changing my life. And you already know what your distractions are. Most of the time, it's other people. Most of the time, it's television. It's whatever distracts you from the other things you know you really supposed to be doing. So TV, video games, social media, girls, all these things are distractions to you getting on your grind and being who you really supposed to be. You know what I mean? And this is not even this is how I look at it. Not only is it going to give me the time, because now I have no more excuses to be the man I'm supposed to be, because I don't have the distractions. But then also, I understand this is kind of like a purge, because if you dealing with these people that you know are probably not the best for you in your life, you know you're not going nowhere with these women or whatever the case may be, why even entertain it? Give yourself 6 months to a year, and if they're supposed to be in your life, they'll be there in 6 months in a year.
You definitely see who rocking with you.
Exactly.
Once
And this
you
isn't just
stop.
women. This is friends.
Yep.
This might be family. This might be whatever you got to do. Co-workers, they sitting there saying, "Hey, there's a birthday party. Come to the birthday." I got something I got to do. I can't, folks. I can't go. If you go with the crowd, you're gonna be with the crowd. If you want to be different, you gotta move different.
Yeah.
Now
You got to be a trailblazer.
exactly. So let's see. And now we actually did some shout out to anybody on YouTube, Facebook, because I know we had stopped doing Facebook for a while just to focus on YouTube. But I wanted to get this message out to everybody, because right now it's so much, where you don't feel good about yourself. You feel like, oh man, life hasn't gone anywhere. It's a reason, that because you haven't gone to the next level. You know what you got to do, but you just don't do it. And why you don't do it? Because you accept the distractions that you've been had for years.
Yeah. My problem, I definitely got complacent. I had a decent job, things were getting taken care of, and I just kind of just quit.
Yeah. And complacency is the worst thing for anybody to move to the next level.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've been complacent. And think about it. How easy is complacency, where you're just sitting around like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch some TV. I'm gonna sit on the couch. I'm gonna eat some chips. I'm gonna have some candy. I'm not gonna get up at 3-4 in the morning, go run. I'm not gonna go work out. So when people see success and they see people who are just regular, or people who are failing in life, understand the choices you make is what's going to determine how you're going to be in life.
Definitely. Agreed 100%.
Yeah. So, and I had been reading this book, like I said, I've been reading this book right here.
Canteen's Book Club.
So it's called How to Enjoy Your Life and Your Job. And it talks about, a lot of times being appreciative, being not criticizing people, just overall how to be a good person in life. And we just got off the phone talking to somebody, and they wanted us, because if you go back to old videos, I was very critical of people. I talk trash. I sit there and I talk some mess to y'all asses. I ain't gonna lie to you, because that's how I felt. And I'm not gonna apologize for it, because that's really how I felt. But I also didn't want people to feel less than. So for me to grow as a person, I have to be the person to uplift other people.
Okay, I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
It was getting pretty ugly for a hot second.
Yeah. And we had a lot of people viewing, but we had a lot of people hating on us.
Mm.
But it wasn't that the pressure of them. It was that, what do I want to be?
Exactly.
Do I want to be the person who just talks shit
And push out negativity.
and push out negativity? Or
Yeah.
do I want to be the person who talks real shit and gives you the realness and the uplifting that you can do this, that you actually can level up and make your life the way you see fit? You know what I mean? So I said, you know what? I want to be a more of a
Motivational speaker.
yeah. Well, I've always said that. Remember we had the whole, if you could plan your life out.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to be. I want to motivate people because people in my life have motivated me to be who I want to be. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just do what I feel in my heart, which is speaking, uplifting people, trying to be better for people. And
Nowadays, especially nowadays, you with all the division going on, you definitely need
yeah, and
motivation and unity, especially unity.
but that's what we're failing at. We're not unified. We're so much as man versus woman, is black versus white, is rich versus poor.
The only time we really are unified is with a common enemy.
Yeah.
That's the only time I ever see really people come together.
9/11, you had, everybody was
Patriotic.
everybody was against the Arabs or people who was in the Middle East. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like all that is dumb. All that doesn't make you a better person. All that doesn't get you to where you want to be because you're focused on so much other things. Focus on yourself. If you focus on yourself and let everything else go, I'm telling you, you will end up being something that you wouldn't even imagine. And that's where I'm at. I'm literally saying I'm going to do this. And I asked myself, why was I so waiting on this? Because I was actually fearful of, one, not having no more excuses. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I couldn't do this because I took this girl out, or I couldn't do this because I was doing no.
The excuses, and the thing about excuses, they're not for other people.
No.
They're for yourself.
They're for yourself. And as much as we use excuses to not do things, we also use excuses for safety measures.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I couldn't do these things because of this. That's bullshit, and you know it. And that's why I had to look at myself. I was bullshitting. I was literally making excuses because I didn't want to be great. I didn't want because now when I don't have the excuses, could I be great?
You have to face it.
I have to face it
You
and
have to.
see. And then you're questioning yourself. What if I don't have any excuses and then I do it and then I fail? But the fact is, you can't fail if you don't never
try.
Exactly. But you do fail if you never try too.
Well, yeah,
That's
that's
that catch
that's
22.
100% failure.
Yes. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm going to literally cut off women, cut off distractions, cut off anything that I feel is slowing my progress down for me for 6 months. And we will revisit it. I got to pick what day I'm going to actually start this.
Well, okay.
Now, I told
You
a
haven't
couple ladies.
Okay, so you haven't officially started yet.
I haven't officially started.
But you got it.
I have given them the forewarning and said, look. Oh, sorry. I have given them the forewarning and said, look, I'm planning on doing this.
Now, I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead,
But were you nervous when to say hey?
I was, but then I knew I had to say it because I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm not gonna just be that person to just do it and then don't tell nobody.
Ghost people,
because I understand ghosting does feel bad.
Well, when you told me, I wasn't really worried. I'm gonna say worried for you, but I knew you would be fine because in general, I've never seen a woman knock a man for putting things aside so he can make himself better.
See, I felt like that's what I was scared of. I felt like they were gonna do that. I felt like they were gonna be, no, you can't do that to me because da da da. But then I realized the total opposite. It was all in my head that people were going to be mad at me for me doing something better. But then I'm thinking, why would anybody be mad at somebody
That's
for bettering themselves?
yes. That's why I thought, okay, when you said you're going to tell him, I was like, he's going to be fine.
And if they did actually get mad for me trying to better myself, isn't that more of a sign for that I need to get away from that person?
Yeah.
So they were very, appreciative and also saying like, yeah, I think you should do it. They were like, go ahead.
They encourage you.
And in 6 months, I'll talk back to you. So, I was
So
like,
you're totally like, you're not speaking to anybody. You're not.
I'm not going to entertain. If they try to talk to me, I'm just gonna say, look, I'm busy.
Okay. You shutting it down.
I'm shutting it all the way down.
Oh,
They're not
okay.
going to get in, penetrate my fortress of what I'm doing.
Okay.
What I'm planning on doing is I'm going to make my schedule fit so busy that I can't hang out with people.
I told you this earlier, you will be so productive because all the distractions are out of the way. And the feeling you get from it is way better than, and I hate to say it like this, it's way better than, going on a first date or, accomplishing goals does something for you that another person can't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It makes you internally feel strong. It makes you internally feel better about yourself. Like, damn, I'm really becoming something.
Yes. And it gives you all types of confidence. So I support you 100%.
Yeah. And I think this is like something I've never done. I know this for a fact. I've never done this. I've never taken something and said, I'm doing this for a certain amount of time. Like in college, like, training camp, I used to, work out and I had to go work out and things like that. But like if there was a girl and she wanted to hang out, I was like, oh yeah, we can hang out. I'd fit her in somewhere. You know what I mean? When I should have been focusing on the task and just putting more extra time into that instead of focusing on her or going on her and liking her, because who knows where I would have been. If I would have taken the time and energy and put it into school or put it into my football career, I don't know where I would have been.
Could have been professional.
I could have been. And that's where I'm at. That's why I'm trying to get guys to understand. If you take away all distractions and just focus on you for 6 months to a year,
yes,
you might really create something that you just wouldn't even imagine.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You're on the road to where you need to be.
And then not even that, it's like a challenge to see, can you do it? I haven't put myself at 6 months because I was like, I don't even want to be unrealistic. Because like a year, even though I probably need a year, really.
Yeah. Well, listen, when you get to that 6 month mark, you probably could be like, you know what, I can do another 6.
And I might do that. I'm not counting against that. I might not do that. But I'm just saying it's at the point where it's like you're at a crossroad in your life somewhere. And I'm talking to you because you know who I'm talking to. You're at a crossroad and you have to ask yourself, what do you want for yourself? Do you want something better, or do you want to keep going the route you've been going?
No, I get it. And for me, it wasn't fear. Well, I did have fear of, not succeeding. But after a while, that was overtaken by, what do you call it?
The will to want to be better.
Like that feeling of, I don't want to say regret, but like,
regret
of not, looking back and not accomplishing anything. That haunted me more than the fear.
I think regret is the most fearful thing. I mean, the most regretting thing you could have, because you're just like, what? That sounded so weird. I just said regret is the most regretting thing. Because it really is. I guess regret is the most, but it's that's the thing I'm scared of the most. The biggest fear I have is that I do not accomplish what I was set out to accomplish in life.
Yeah, a wasted life.
I didn't do what I was fearful and I didn't attempt what I knew I wanted to attempt.
Yes.
And I think a lot of us have that where we just like, why? I know I want to do this, but I'm too scared.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, I've attempted things that I wanted to do, and I've fallen flat on my face. And I felt better for doing that
because you know what it was. Like, well, I guess I'm not
yeah,
a professional kicker.
I felt better for doing that than not trying at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always, you know, that's why I said I'm encouraging you to push forward.
And recently I had this girl that I've been talking to for like, I don't know, 6 years. And she wanted to leave me. Like, she wanted to stop talking to me, dealing with me, because I was giving her, I was telling her, like, I'm just on this selfish mode of what I need to do for myself. And I blurted it out. I said, I'm not happy with where I'm at in life.
Okay.
Of what my situation is. And I have to take the time and focus just on me. And, you know, she was crying and she was just like, wow, you know, this, you don't care nothing about me. And I'm like, no, it ain't got nothing to do with that. It's I care.
And that's like, and I know she felt how she felt, but that is the worst thing you can do to somebody. Just try to throw that guilt on her. You don't care about me.
This was, and me, I'm just like, it's not that I don't care about you. I just care about me more. And that's you understand how cringy that made me feel to say, but it was real. You have to care about yourself more than anybody else,
because no one's going to care about you more than yourself.
No one. I don't care what the feeling she gives you. She will never care more about you than she cares about herself.
Exactly.
That's human nature. Humans only care about themselves, except their offspring.
Yeah.
And even most of the time, even their offspring, people care more about themselves than offspring. But for the most part, that's the only person that's probably going to care about
self-preservation.
Exactly. So when you know that, then do the right thing, the best thing for yourself, which is get in the dungeon, get in the Rocky mode. Mm-hmm. Like, I really feel like I'm like in Rocky mode right now.
Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger. You know, if you see how Rocky, when he got into Rocky mode, Adrian, you know, he stayed by Adrian, and she's like, go win. And he's like, all right, cool. Boom. I don't even think you see Adrian the rest of the fucking the fight.
You don't see her to the fight.
She's a distraction.
Yes. And that's what Mick did. Even Apollo, when he trained him to fight Mr. T, he took him out of his city. Mm-hmm. And took him. He took him into that raw,
the black, you know, around the people he grew up.
Yeah, he said, you see that look in your eye? He said, you used to have that look in your eye. We got to get that back.
Exactly. And that's what you fellas got to do. You got to get the eye of the tiger back. You got to get to where you're just focused on making that kill, getting that job, getting that, you know, do the overtime, making the sacrifice to where you're going to go to where you need to go. And that's where I'm at. I'm just literally going to make the sacrifice. In these 6 months, my mindset is this: if I'm not working out, I'm doing overtime.
Yeah.
If I'm not doing overtime or working out, I'm focusing on doing the podcast. I'm focused on building the business. I got some things in the works. I'm not going to just put it out there yet, but you guys are going to see some things. And once I get them up and rolling, we're going to put it out. But
it's crazy because I told somebody just about the same thing yesterday. I said, if it ain't got nothing to do with me making money or being better, I ain't got time for it.
And I don't, and I respect that, because like I would call you up sometimes and be like, hey, what's the name having a birthday party? You going? Nah, I ain't going.
Exactly.
I'm like, really? Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna go. I ain't gonna make this one. And I'm so used to it because everybody be like, Beans don't never come to the birthday party.
No, I
Beans don't never come. It's rare to see him, and I'm not knocking you for it, because at the end of the day, when you do show up, people are like, wow,
he showed up. Yeah,
he showed up.
Yeah, it is,
and it makes people actually
happier to see me.
happy to see you. And it says that in the 48 laws of power, it says being not going to everything also actually brings more I don't know, not debonair, but more celebrity style when you
Okay.
do show up. You know what I'm saying? People be like, wow, I can't believe what's name actually showed up.
Yeah.
You and Nixon.
Yeah. We just-
Y'all two are the ones
we
that where
just
if
don't-
they see you,
yeah.
they're like, wow, everybody's here now.
Yeah, it do feel good to be like, oh shit, yeah, he here. Like
Exactly.
it do feel good
You know, and
to have that.
and that's where I'm about to be on. I'm not, and I really was like, if I'm not doing something for me, meaning, and I'm not saying don't have no fun.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying have your fun, but involve it in the life you're trying to become. If you're trying to travel, if you're trying to be that person that travel, set it up to where you're traveling in your
Yes.
time in that little, you know, that's 6 months to a year. But don't be people hit you up, hey, let's do this. Like, why?
Yeah.
Is that going to get you to your goal?
And that's the thing. And my thing was, I was a little nervous about that when people invited me places and I never would go. I was thinking in the back of my head, like, these people gonna stop inviting me. They gonna just
And they probably have.
yeah. Yeah.
But so what? My thing is this: are these people are they at the level you want to be at? That's what you got to ask.
Yeah.
The
that's
people
true.
you're hanging out with, are they at the level you want to be at?
That's
Because if
true.
they are, then that's fine. But if they not and they can't help you get to the level you're trying to get to, why are you dealing with them? I know that sounds very heartless and but why? Ask yourself that. Why are you dealing with them if that's not where you want to be? If you hanging out with ratchets, if you hanging out with hoodlums, if you hanging out with preppy people that you don't even like, bougie people that you don't even like being around, truly, why? It's because you want to be accepted that much.
You know, and it's crazy you say that. I actually told a friend of mine who he hung out with people who got drunk all the time. And he said he wanted to do better in life for, you know, himself and his kids. And the first thing I told him was this: you want to be better, you gotta stop hanging around these dudes. You gotta get rid of them.
Yeah, see, but when we hear that, the real truth, it's hard to see. It's hard to swallow the truth
Yeah.
because
Because he definitely was like, well, these are my friends. I'm like, they ain't doing you no good.
if they're your friends, guess what? They could be your friends when you become a millionaire and you become
Exactly.
whatever you are, and just say, hey, those were friends from back in the day.
And once he got on his grind, once he started making money how he wanted to,
He stopped hanging out with them.
stop hanging out.
And guess what? This is what you don't realize though. They're gonna want to stop hanging out with you because if they're at this level and you're at this level, guess what's gonna happen? Either you're gonna have to bring them up to this level, or you're gonna have to go down to their level because they're not gonna feel comfortable.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'll give you an example about it. Let's say somebody who's walking with God, who lives their life as walking with God. They're here. They feel they're here. They deal with life this way. Well, when you get somebody who's not walking with God, who's doing wild, crazy, bad things and just, you know, not really good, guess what they do? They don't want to hang out with them.
Yeah.
You know why?
they don't.
Because it makes them feel inadequate. It makes them feel like, damn, I'm seeing you. You notice everything you're doing wrong with next to this person, right?
Yep.
That's why
Yes.
when people who don't swear, people who go to church, people who live their life in a good way, the guys who are going to the strip clubs, the ones who are swearing, and they don't want to be around that person.
Yeah, because they can't do it.
It can't be that way around them.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying they have to elevate themselves and they don't want to, so they stay away. That's how life is. If you want to elevate yourself, you got to be around people who's elevating.
And that's crazy too, because I'm not much of a drinker. I don't really drink like that. And then when I would go to these places that have bars or whatever, and people
Yeah.
would be like, hey, you want to drink? And I'm like, no. And then they would literally stop drinking.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, look, if you drink,
But think
that's
about this.
you.
You wouldn't want to be around a person who you don't drink and they keep trying to force you to drink.
That's true. I've had that happen too.
Exactly, because
I've had that
you're
happen
like,
too.
dude, we ain't on the same level, and vice versa. Like you said, they wanted to stop drinking because you weren't drinking. People
Yeah.
try to elevate themselves to the level, whatever that person is. Either you're going to downgrade or you're going to upgrade. And that's just with anybody. That's the same way with relationships with women. If you get with a woman and you're here and she's here, you're going to have to elevate her. And guess what? Once you elevate her, she might want to stay this way. You can't. That's why it's so hard to when a rich dude get with a woman that has nothing, and he elevates her. She sees this type of life, and then he says, "We're done." Guess what happens?
You can't go back to the.
She ain't going back to that no more. Women go up. Women don't go back down. Okay,
That's
so
true.
you might want to find somebody who's close to your level, and say, "Hey, you know what? Because if I let her go, she gonna be fine." I look at Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey.
Yeah,
Mariah Carey
I think she's richer than he was. huh?
exactly. And did you hear any fighting when they got a divorce?
No.
Exactly. Because they was both close to around the same or better. He's like, good. When a woman is higher than the man as far as financially, she ain't got no problems.
Exactly.
When they
And all right,
regular,
bye.
bye. Because most men, he good. He ain't about to, he might fight for it, but other than that, she ain't gonna trip about it. But let her have nothing, and then he bring her all the way up to this level. He's going to have hell. She's gonna fight and claw.
Yeah.
You're not dropping me back down there.
Was it Dr. Dre's wife? She won $1 million. Was $1
I
million?
think she won it.
She won something. I don't remember how
It
much
was
it
something
was. but
crazy,
It was
dude.
a crazy amount of money she won it. But yeah, because they started started low, and he made it. He made it as a
And
producer.
I'm starting to realize I have to elevate myself. I have to level up and tell them, hey, you know what? I can't be around. People be like, man, who your friends? Who you hang around with? Beans. That's what I hang around with. And I told, what I said, I'm trying to elevate. I said, is you trying to be on that? Yeah, I'm trying to be on that.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't trying to be on that, guess what's gonna happen? We ain't gonna hang out.
Exactly. No need.
So
There's no
the
need to.
reason I started hanging out with Beans is because Beans actually was on the same thing. That's why we doing this podcast together.
Yeah.
Because we both we want better for what we already got. And if we didn't want to get her, guess what? We wouldn't be doing this podcast together. We wouldn't be probably hanging out as much as we do. We wouldn't be going to work out in groups together to better our health and things like that.
Exactly.
Find the people you around. Find people who are trying to be the same way you're trying to be, and hang around them.
Our own boss. I've actually learned quite a bit from you too. I actually started investing my money better in the stock market. It had me studying and learning.
And it's bad right now. The stock market bad, but I promise you, when it starts getting good and you keep loading it up, that's why I said right now, this is the time to level up. The stock market is at its all-time, well, it's lows right now, all-time low, but all-time low in the last 3-4 years. And I'm telling you, you could stack your money up, put your money away, go ahead and do that extra overtime shift, put that money into the market, grow your business, do something, work out, get yourself to the place where you're happy with yourself. Because until you do that, ain't nothing else gonna matter.
Exactly.
Now, I feel like I don't give y'all enough speech on that. I know you wanted to talk about something else before we.
Okay.
Go ahead. Let's switch it up.
So, one of our viewers, Shay, put up a post. Kevin Samuels talking about men being a provider.
I think did she send it to me on
She
Facebook?
She might have.
Let me see if I can find it, because then we can actually just play it.
Yeah.
And
so why are you looking for it?
Go ahead.
My thing about that is this. I agree with him 100%. Okay, I'm not disputing. Is that it right there?
That's it. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. Give me a second, y'all. All right.
Or is this the?
I think this is it. This is the one where it was.
Or is that the one with the cheap dates?
The cheap dates. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about that. There was another one.
Okay, that she sent you or put it on?
Let me see if I can
find it
and send it to you in that way.
Because well, speaking of the cheap date one, we can watch the Kevin Samuels one right now, because I definitely felt like he was coming at me with this video because if y'all don't know, I've had a $20, but it's since inflation has gone up to $40 limit towards women. Now I'm gonna tell you why I realize I'm wrong.
Yes,
Finally,
I am surprised.
I am wrong for this, and like I said, this is me elevating myself. Let's watch this video real quick, and then we'll go into your thing.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, let's get it.
You think like you should be able to slide into somebody's DMs and chat her up and then have her come through and Netflix and chill? I hear more bullshit from men talk about, man, women out here dating this and that, and I'm not going to spend more than $20 on a date until I get to know such and so forth. That's what I think of all y'all saying that.
Hold up, pause. When Kevin Samuels put his finger up, I was like, he is talking.
He's
He
talking to
finger?
you.
He gonna give me the
He's
finger?
talking to you.
So I think of all men saying this shit, and let me tell you why I think that. Because it is on us to ask better questions before you take somebody out. If you end up going out with a woman and she is a dinner scammer, then you failed. That is a horrible attitude to go into the market. I'm going to treat all women. I'm going to take a woman that's obviously up here out to Starbucks because I don't want to get scammed for $30. Keep your broke ass at home.
All right. Now, the reason I feel I was wrong after hearing what Kevin Samuels said is because what he said was right. Where you
Yes.
should filter out and find women of high quality and ask the right questions so you don't just get any old body. See, the reason I went to the $20 or $40 limit was because I was picking women who weren't of high quality, I just were like, not all women. I'm not gonna say, let me stop. Let me not try to act like y'all all like who I'm talking to. So if you hear this, don't get mad. I'm saying I would just talk to a few girls and be like, we can go out. I'll meet you. And I didn't qualify them to where they fit the criteria that it was a woman that I actually wanted to pursue heavily. So I figured $20 or $40 is something that if I don't like what I'm hearing,
It's not too much of a hit.
it's not too much of a hit of an investment. But the reason I did that was because my beginning stages of finding the woman was flawed. So if I were to, and not for nothing, like I said, what he said, if you gotta only spend $40, then that means you're not on your fucking grind anyway.
Exactly.
And that's where I had to go in my mind. And now, like I said, I just realized this today and thought about it because like I said, I'm going into the dungeon for 6 months. Why am I sitting there putting a limitation on women who I want? If I really want to date somebody, why am I putting a limitation on that? I shouldn't even be putting myself out there. It's like, if you value yourself, why would you put yourself out there to just anybody?
Exactly. And you're not just putting a limitation on them. You're limiting yourself with the experience.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You're putting different energies around you that really ain't helping you out to elevate yourself at all. So I'm thinking about, and I always go back to Chris Brown. Do you think Chris Brown sits there and just goes out with everybody? No, he don't. Because he's elevated himself to a status of confidence that he's like, man, I'm not about to, you got to meet a certain criteria, which that criteria might be this for me to date that girl.
Exactly.
He dated Rihanna. So I'm like, all right.
The bar is up here for him, man.
Yeah, I'm dating Rihanna's like 16th cousin removed. So like, I had to realize that was flawed on my end, which caused me to be that way. So I had to check myself and say, you know what?
You put yourself in a box.
Yes. And I do believe, the reason I was valuing the women I was talking to at $40 was because that's how much I was valuing myself.
Hence putting yourself in a box.
So
true.
That's where my
I have never thought I'd see the day you would reverse yourself.
Yeah.
On that, because you were so
I was so adamant about that.
About it. But there is a point to be made about this, because there is.
Go ahead.
And I do believe in the beginning, you should start small and work your way up.
Uh-huh.
Now $40, I don't know,
Where is this Facebook? I had it. Oh, I just
but I do believe that's true because I did the reverse. I would start out, up here, and the problem with starting out here, you got to stay up here.
yeah. See, you did the total opposite.
I did the opposite.
And my thing is, I should be qualifying. We should all be qualifying women to where they fit the criteria that you actually want. Don't just go and be like, okay, she's cute, or because let's be honest. I'm gonna be 100% on this right now. I went on dates with women I didn't even find attractive. Isn't that sad?
I think as men, I think we all go through a phase where we do that.
Like I was so adamant of just like, oh, I'm gonna get attention. I wanted attention that bad.
She was feeding your what ego?
My ego. That's what it was. She was feeding the fake ego. Oh, okay. Okay. She was feeding the fake ego that I had of myself because I didn't want to put in the work to go and get the ego and deserve it.
Gotcha. You were looking for the easy kill.
I was looking for the easy kill. Somebody that would have been like hype me up a little bit, which I think a lot of girls and a lot of people do, where you're just you don't want to put it to work in, but you want somebody to make you feel like you are somebody.
And those are like what's the word?
False.
It's like not empty wins. They're like
that's what they are though.
Empty wins, yeah.
Because you're not gonna, if you don't plan to go anywhere with this woman,
yeah,
you're wasting your time and hers.
Yeah, it's like knocking out a drunk dude.
Exactly.
It's just like you can't brag about that.
It's like or beating up a girl.
Yeah,
like you ain't getting no pointers for that, bro.
Yeah. That person's already halfway out the game, so you didn't put no effort in whatsoever.
Yeah.
To get this win.
All right, now let's go ahead and go.
So this is the original. Are you gonna play it?
Yeah, I'm about to play it.
This is the original video
that you wanted to talk about.
Yes, I saw this earlier.
All right, so we're gonna watch this video and then you can
okay.
Tell me what you want to talk about. All right, let's watch it.
Manhood, because you have and an XY chromosome. It don't work that way. Women respect resources. You can't check a bitch because you got nothing to check with. The only place you dominate is in the bedroom. Dominate on the balance sheet. Dominate on your wallet, which is your accomplishments. Any woman that you choose to deal with, her money should be no good with you if you're 100% man. You pay everything.
Okay, so I don't disagree with anything he said. Okay, That's not what I'm here to do. What I do, I said this to you earlier. What happens is there is a part of that always gets. I keep doing that. There's a part of this that always gets left out. Somebody put that up, and I always ask females this question when they say men should provide. I said I agree.
Yes.
However, say if your husband, I'm gonna say husband, if your husband gets laid off his job, what are you prepared to do? Are you going to help him until he gets back?
Or are you going to hinder him? Or are you going to complain that he hasn't
exactly that? Because the person who put up, I asked this yesterday, and she said if her man's trying to get back on her feet, she's going to help.
Yeah,
I said that's good. Because and I have to say this because a lot of times when I ask this, people think I'm coming from a place of like throwing shade or hate or this is bitterness. This is me trying to give a dose of reality because this could happen.
Yeah,
and I say that because it happened to me.
And I think as a man, no men we don't mind being providers, but what we don't want is somebody who's along for the ride while the ride is good.
Exactly.
And if the ride gets a little bumpy or we fall off track, you're not there to help me.
Yeah, you getting out the car like, okay.
All right, well, the tires pop, so good luck, bro. Yeah. That's what we don't want.
Yes, and unfortunately, unfortunately, I've seen it and I've lived it. And unfortunately, you won't really know until it happens to you.
No, I'm going to tell you what you got to do. Just like Fat Joe did it. Fat Joe had 50 dudes that he was supporting.
Yes, he did.
Everywhere he went, he brought these 50 dudes. He paid for everything for them. They didn't have to pay for nothing. Paid their bills, everything. Then he said, you know what? I want to see if these 50 dudes are really my boys. I think they are. They say they are, but let me just see. So he went down to Florida with the 50 dudes and told them, hey, I got to tell y'all something. The money ain't right. I'm on bankruptcy. I don't have it no more. I lost it. I don't have it. So all this, what I've been doing for y'all, I can't do it no more.
Mm-hmm.
But, I know we can get through this. Y'all my boys. And he said there was, out of the 50 dudes, there were 6 dudes that stayed. That said, bro, what you need, you my man, ride or die. I'm with you. Hey, if you need something, I'm here for you. The rest of them dipped. And he never lost the money.
No, he didn't.
He just wanted to see who was really there for him and who was playing like they was there for him.
And you know what's crazy?
Huh.
That did happen to me. And let me tell you, I didn't do it like that.
Yeah.
Someone in my circle, I used to buy things for this particular person just cause, trying to be a good husband, boyfriend, whatever. And someone, another woman.
I just love how you just don't want to say.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
Go ahead.
But so a woman will put you up on game against about another woman. This is what I've learned. Someone saw me doing it and say, hey, does she ever buy you anything just because? And I was like, you know what? No. But she probably would. And this person kind of knew her and he was like, I bet you she don't.
You were like,
so
challenge
I
accepted.
was like, bet. So and
I know my girl.
So yeah. So we went out and I just asked for something simple, a t-shirt. I was like, hey, can you buy this for me? And she wouldn't do it. And I was like, oh.
That was the first.
Okay, that was the red flag. And
were you too far in at that point?
I was.
Or were you like?
I was too far in at that point.
So you didn't feel like you could get out?
At that point, no. My nose was still wide open, and that's the thing.
That would have stopped my nose from being wide open.
Well, that's the thing. I had to learn the hard way. I can be a bit hard-headed sometimes. So I would, and this is the crazy thing. This is where I messed up at. Instead of being mad at her,
you made an excuse
for not
buying
me the shirt. I was more mad that I had to go back and tell this person that she was right.
Oh, so now your ego was hit.
And my ego was yes. I was more mad about that instead of focusing on, look, this is the problem.
Why didn't you didn't tell them that? Did you tell them it was a problem?
No. That was that's my fault. I had to eat that. Trust me, hindsight is 20/20. I look back on things and I see a lot of mistakes that I made when it comes to my relationships. And I always try to share my experience, not to blame anybody or
just to teach,
just to kind of teach and share my experience with people. And I try to, especially the fellas, because I see some people in my circle going on the same road I did.
And you don't want them to
and I don't want them to, end up like I did.
Okay. I mean,
and
I think just like anybody, we're not asking for nothing so outrageous. We just want someone to have our backs.
Yes.
Just like they're looking for somebody to have their backs. But if you don't speak up about something that you feel is wrong, that somebody's doing,
it's just going to keep going.
I know what's going to end up happening. What's going to happen is you're going to be petty. Yep. And you're going to stop doing what you've been doing for this person because you're going to say, look, you're going to wait. What you're hoping on is because you stopped doing this, they're gonna say something about it, which
Yes.
is going to open up the conversation for you to say, "Well, when's the last time you ever did that?"
Yeah.
That's
You
all
ain't-
we waiting
You
on.
ain't never did that. Yeah.
Because
Listen,
I'm tell you a story about mine.
guilty.
So
I'm
my
guilty.
my ex, I used to bring her food to work. I used to bring her smoothies.
Uh,
I used to bring her all kind of stuff just to brighten up her day. And so I'm sitting there like, okay, I'm doing. And I'm like, man, you know what? I will, I know she cooks and she does real well with, she can cook up a storm. So I'm like, I wonder if she ever gonna bring me something to eat at work. And
nah, we had the job. Was it?
Yeah.
We're okay.
And so I said, yeah, you can bring me something to eat. Well, at first, I don't know what it was. Somehow it got up to where like I'm like, oh, that's what it was. I stopped doing it. And she was like, you don't ever bring me any food or drink anything no more. And I said, well, when have you ever done that for me? And then she's like, oh, well, I said, no, you can bring me something to eat. Well, you work at this place and I can't. I said, no, you can come there. You can come there and you can leave it at the lobby. They'll give it to me. Just tell them who you're bringing it for. Oh, and she never did. She never brought it to me. She never did any of that. Now, when we got later on the fritz of like our relationship, she did try to say, well, you want me to bring you something and at that point, I didn't want it because it was like a dollar. Was it a dollar short?
A day late.
A day late and a dollar short at that point. So I was like, man, no, I don't even want nothing from you at that point because it was like it wasn't in you, and that's the thing I had to learn. If it ain't in them, you can't make it be in them. See,
That's
you
true.
wanted your woman or that woman to be in her to want to give to you, but if she don't appreciate you like you thought she did, it's gonna show. She's not gonna be appreciative, and she's not gonna try to do what you think what you need her to do for you.
Exactly.
So I had to learn, if you want to do something for somebody, do it for them, but don't expect them to give it in return.
Yeah.
Just realize how they move.
Exactly. That's actually in that book, No More Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah.
I believe it's called Caretaking. I think that's what it's called, the caretaking paradigm. If I do this for you, they should do this for me.
Yeah. And that shit don't never work.
No, it doesn't.
Don't make people think they have to be a certain way towards you. Just accept them as whatever. If they're gonna do something for you, say they're doing this just for you. But
you definitely have to communicate this. And I told someone who recently got married to, not just communicate that the if they're having a problem with somebody or an issue, I should say, communicate, but resolve it before you get married, because it's not going to go away.
No,
just because you got married,
it's not going to go away.
Okay?
It's actually going to get worse because
Yes.
now you're going to notice it even more. My mom and dad always said, and my grandmother told me this. She said, baby, if it ain't good now, it ain't going to get better.
So true.
And I said, and that's another hard truth to swallow. If it ain't good now, and it ain't good, it ain't gonna get better.
And I don't know why we do that. We wait for people to change, or we hope they're going to change.
They're gonna get better because you know why? You're like, well, we have the paradigm of if I treat them better, they'll treat me better.
Yes.
No, that ain't how it works.
It really doesn't.
Just treat people the way you want to be treated, and then see how they treat you.
Yes.
That's it.
See how they move, and then
if they don't move the same exact way, then they don't look at you that way.
Exactly. So I always ask that question to especially women, because they're the main ones to say men are to be the providers. Yes, I agree.
I agree.
But women are to be the helpmate. That is the other half of that statement that always tends to get skipped over. Even in my relationship, I had to look back and say, man, I never really addressed that at all. And you know, it was by the time I did address it was too late. We already
They laid in the dollar short.
yeah,
man.
we already set in our, you know,
Your
our
ways.
position, our ways.
You
So,
wasn't trying to bend nothing, and that's what happens. We get to a point where I don't want to bend, and she doesn't want to bend because both feelings and egos have been hurt. So it's
yes.
like, well, if we neither one of us is gonna take a bend, then we just need to bow out and just call it a day.
And I warn people who are at that stalemate. You know, I'm like, look, one of you is gonna have to
Take that L.
take that L and extend that olive branch.
But is it really an L though?
It's not an L. If your relationship can grow from it, it's not an L
Yeah.
at all. And I always refer to chess. I was like, chess is the only game I know of that a stalemate. It has a stalemate, and in a stalemate,
Yeah.
nobody wins. Both sides lose.
Shout out to whoever that was, my bros. Let me see who that was. That was probably, who was that? Oh, Danny. What up, Danny? Shout out to my man. How you been, man? You been grinding?
Hopefully, yes, man. Let's see.
I ain't been seeing no videos from you in a while. I don't know.
Bro, I think you got a birthday coming up. I got that 38 cent for you, Danny.
You ain't shit, dude.
No, just
This nigga said 38 cents. It's supposed to be $1 per.
yeah, I know. Just
I ain't got a 40 for you, dude. I mean, catch you when you 40. But we we talked about a lot today, man. We talked about leveling up. We talked about taking the time, getting the distractions out of your life.
yes.
We talked about being around the type of people you want to be around, that you want to level up to. If your friends ain't on the level you want to be on, you got to, hey, man, sorry, but not sorry.
Got to do better.
You know what I mean? And then we started talking about how, yes, you do need to have, if you want to live your life, don't have limitations on your life. Don't sit there and say, I'm going to spend only this amount on a woman. Don't do that, because at the end of the day, if you got to put a limit on what you got to spend on a woman for you, and what I mean by that is go do what you want to do.
Yes.
And whatever it is what it is. Because if you can't afford to do what you want to do, you need to get back into Rocky mode and grind. Don't worry about that woman. Because if you can't be who you want to be around her, she gonna see the fakeness.
Yeah.
She gonna realize this ain't you. You stunting. You trying to act like you a big shot, but you really not.
Yeah. Trust me. Focus on yourself. The women, they will come.
The fact that I told some of the women I'm talking to that I'm about to go in hibernation mode for 6 months and they were okay with it means they really want me to elevate myself.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. The ladies, they want you fellas, us, to elevate ourselves because they don't want to deal with low hanging fruit. They want the cream of the crop.
Mm-hmm.
So
Facts. I was actually talking to a friend the other day. She was telling me she wants to go to the Bahamas.
yeah,
I said that's good. The problem is she's waiting for somebody to take her. And I said, look,
who's waiting for a man to take her?
yeah, I was like, then you will never go.
Well, I
don't say she'll never go. I was like, well,
she won't never go unless she
anything.
elevate herself.
Yeah, or
Because if you where you are and ain't no man asked you to take you to the Bahamas, baby girl, you ain't on that level.
yeah, and I was like, you're not gonna go anytime soon.
And this could go to both sides. Women, y'all can go ahead and get into the hibernation Rocky mode. Shut off all men, all the scrubs. Because that's what, if you ain't talked to these dudes in 6 months and ain't never hit you back up, it's probably a blessing.
Yeah.
You need to find you some new dudes, somebody you can go ahead and be on the level you trying to get on. What did he say? He said, I just did a video yesterday. Check it out. I like the message. Women want the cream of the crop. They will not respect you unless you prove you can lead. I wonder what we're gonna check it out so we can see what your video is about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm busting these pistachio nuts up, dude. Anything else you want to talk about before we get up out of here? Because we've been doing an hour, you know.
Yeah, we try to bust out the. No, I'm good, man. I got that off my chest.
All right, yeah. I hope this past weekend, I hope y'all did something for yourselves.
Yes,
You know, make yourselves be a little bit better each day.
mentally, physically, financially.
But yeah, the market is crazy right now. Y'all need to go ahead and get this money, man. That's what me and Beans about to be on. So,
Listen,
yeah.
and the thing is, it don't take a lot of money to invest. Like every time I've talked to somebody, well, I only got $100. Okay, that's
Rome
fine.
wasn't building a day. You got to start
Yeah.
somewhere.
That's fine. I didn't.
I look what I told you. I started with $300 a month,
Yeah, and that's basically what I'm doing.
and you seen what's in my account.
Yeah, I seen it.
So it can move. All I'm gonna say is this week, I know the man, he gonna try to get at you hard, man. You know, you hit him with the 1, 2, 3 punch, duck and dodge, man. Get the grind on, focus on yourself, forget anything, distractions. That's all the whole message. Forget the distractions, focus on yourself. And hey man, we'll see y'all on Friday. Hey, I'm your boy Canteen. This is my man Beans.
Y'all have a good week.
Also, tell me if y'all don't love the
Oh.
outro, because it's my favorite.
Yes.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Daddy.